Before you buy a new planner, label bins, or even make another spreadsheet, take a moment to look inward first. If you don't, you may end up with a more organized version of the same problems. Maybe you've been feeling stressed, tired, or frustrated for a long time. Maybe you kept telling yourself, I'm fine. On the outside, everything looks okay. But deep down, you know something isn't working. So let me ask you a question. How do you really feel about the way your home is running? Do you feel calm and maybe in control, or maybe you feel overwhelmed and exhausted? My name is Cynthia, and I help high achievers make 12-week action plans so they can win in household management and feel less overwhelmed. In today's video, we're going to share 3 ways to reflect before you change anything in your home. I also created a 7-day home management guided planner to help you through this process. You can find the link in the description box or pinned in the comments. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Number 1 is to do an energy drain audit. For 1 week, don't try to fix anything. Instead, pay attention to what drains your energy. Notice the moments when you feel frustrated or angry, anxious, or even resentful. For example, maybe you're the only person who notices when the dishes are piling up. Every time you see them, you feel annoyed. The dishes may not be the real problem. The real problem could be the feeling that you're carrying the responsibility all by yourself. This week, don't push those feelings away. Let yourself notice them. Write them down. Ask yourself, what keeps draining my energy? By the end of the week, you'll have a clearer picture of what's really bothering you. As you reflect on your role in the family, you may discover things about yourself that you didn't see before. But remember this still, and this is really important. You matter, your feelings matter, and it's okay to be honest with yourself about where you currently are. The second thing you want to do is identify your invisible work. The next step is identifying your invisible work. Invisible work is all the work that no one sees. It's the thinking, the planning, the remembering, and keeping track of everything. For example, grocery shopping is visible work, but remembering what you're out of, like checking the pantry, remembering meals, planning meals, keeping track of everyone's food preferences, that is invisible work. The mental work takes energy too. Take a few minutes and write down everything you manage that other people don't see. You may be surprised by how much you're actually carrying. I truly believe this responsibility can be shared. Imagine a home where your kids help bring in groceries because they know it's grocery day. Imagine a simple whiteboard in the kitchen where everyone writes down items that need to be purchased. Even imagine a family that works together instead of depending on one person to remember everything. That kind of home, that's possible. The third thing is to trace your household beliefs. The last step is looking at your household beliefs. Many of us have ideas about how a home should look or maybe run because of how we were raised. We often follow these rules without even realizing it. Ask yourself, where did my standards even come from? For example, if you feel guilty leaving a dish in the sink overnight, why? Why do you feel guilty? Is it because it truly bothers you? Or were you taught that a clean sink means you're a good person? When you separate your own values from old expectations, you can create systems that actually work for your life. Instead of building a home that looks perfect, you can build one that feels peaceful. The next thing, we're going to talk about how reflection changes everything. Self-reflection helps you move from reacting problems to creating solutions. Without reflection, household management becomes reactive. You clean the house because the house is messy. You cook because everyone is hungry. You rush from one task to the next. But when you reflect, you start seeing your home as a system. Instead of asking, how do I clean this mess? You ask, what system can I create so this problem happens less often? Now that is a powerful shift. A reactive mindset focuses on perfection. An intentional mindset focuses on peace. A successful household isn't the one that looks perfect online. It's the one that helps your family feel less stressed and more connected. When a system breaks down, do not blame yourself. Instead, Ask yourself, is the system working? Maybe the problem isn't the people. Maybe the setup needs to be tweaked or changed. This allows you to solve problems without feeling like a failure. Next, we're going to talk about understanding the invisible work with the CPE framework. Most chore charts and to-do lists don't work because they only focus on doing the task. They don't include all the thinking that happens before the task gets done. Every household task has 3 main parts. There's a part called conception. This means noticing that the need is there. For example, you notice the dog food is running low. And then there's another section called planning. This means making a plan, right? So an example of that would be you add the dog food to your shopping list and you decide when to buy it. The execution is the last part. This is the actual task. For example, you go to the store, you buy the dog food, you put it away. The invisible work usually happens during the conception and the planning task. However, for a system to truly share the workload, one person should own all 3 parts of the task: conception, planning, and execution. If one person does all the thinking and another person does only the final step, the mental load is still being carried by the planner. So let me ask you again. How do you really manage your household management? Before you organize anything, take time to reflect. This is day 1 of the 7-day home management guided planner, and today is all about awareness. Download the planner using the link below and start creating a home that supports you instead of overwhelms you. And I'll see you in the next video.